Modern life continuously demands your energy. Modern life is always trying to take your energy from you. Businesses, social media, junk food, advertising. This is always the case for the most part. That there's some kind of external force that's trying to get energy from you. And that's not always a bad thing. The problem is when that thing does not actually give us energy back. There exists a fair transaction and there exists an unfair transaction. There exists a way of giving our energy to something so that it actually comes back to help us and to serve us. Like you give it to a great partner in a relationship and they support you and they give you value as well and you help each other. You give it to a great product or service and it comes back to help you significantly more than what you paid. Many of that stuff exists. But there's so many things nowadays that do the opposite. They manipulate us into giving away our energy and then they just take. And that's it. End of the transaction for the most part. They make us numb, they make us dull, they fuel addictions, and they are kind of preying on the most unconscious parts of us. Our repressions, our traumas, our sort of, fight or flight reactions, our desire to avoid pain and just stimulate ourselves. So social media, advertising, news cycles, endless distractions, notifications, corn. You understand what I'm saying? I can't say that word on the internet. Corn, all these kinds of things and way more are just simply designed to hijack attention and emotions. And we actually have to recognize that, well, a lot of these things are not for us. They're for someone else. They don't care about us. They're not trying to give us value. They're just trying to take from us. They want to hold our energy, maybe on their app or on their food, and their product or service is actually just simply toxic. And that's basically the end of the story. And these things, right, they fuel addictions inside of us. These things have been very strategically engineered to get us addicted to them. So our environment is like preying upon us. But luckily we have a lot of power and we can actually create something very, very great for ourselves. We, aren't just a victim in this situation, but nonetheless, it's important to recognize the world that we are existing in nowadays and how it is very strategically designed to get us addicted to things and keep us in low vibes and basically just make sure that we are mindless zombies. So, this means that we have a lot of power. We can actually choose how to shape up our life, but this will not come without struggle, especially if we are addicted to things, especially if we do not process the repressed emotions that drive us towards those things that are unhealthy for us and taking our energy. Our life will be consumed by those things if we live unconsciously. And becoming conscious is usually a struggle because you have to go back and process all the things that you have repressed inside of you. Becoming more conscious and making sure that you're not exploited by the environment involves getting in touch with a lot of the emotions and sensations and feelings and needs that exist inside of you that you've pushed away. You've repressed them because you are afraid of them. Those things that the environment is giving us that don't give us energy, good energy, the things that don't help us to raise our vibe and be clear and healthy human beings, those things exploit all those things that we have repressed and all those things that we are unconscious of. There's been millions of dollars put into these kinds of things, online algorithms, for example, junk food. And it's up to us, once again, to recognize that that is the case, to identify what those things actually are, identify it correctly. Not just out of anger and projection, but to actually, identify it and then have very strong boundaries with those things. To shape up our environment, our personal, maybe home environment, so that it's not a place where addiction happens easily. To clean up our inner environment, clean up the repressed emotions that we have that drive us to act out of addiction, right? Heal the wounds and traumas that we have that basically pull us to act from addiction. All these addictive behaviors that are draining our energy. We simply don't feel safe. We're afraid of the repressed emotions that we have. We're afraid of those parts of us. We're afraid of life itself. We're craving safety. That's what we're doing. We find that safety in that addictive pattern, but it's not true safety. It's a manipulation. It's a scam. We find safety in the avoidance of life and our emotions and our present experience and ourself, but that doesn't lead to that true safety that we're actually desiring. It doesn't lead to the real satisfaction that we're actually desiring. And that addiction, it simply does not provide the need that we're actually trying to get. That thing that's taking our energy doesn't give to us. It's a sort of illusion of it giving to us, but actually puts us in low vibes, making us reactive and disconnected from ourselves. So modern society is built around consuming attention. Brands, politics, people, etc. want your energy. And even our work culture basically it often demands an overinvestment of personal energy disguised as productivity and loyalty. So it's up to us, once again, to identify that these things are occurring, notice when they are pulling on you, and learn how to actually set boundaries with them. Practice mindfulness meditation so that you are not basically succumbing to addictions all the time, so that you are not basically stuck in cravings all the time, controlling you. You're practicing meditation so that you can become conscious of the emotions that drive you and learn to feel them fully without continuously repressing and avoiding them. So boundaries are your form of power here. Your ability to say no, your ability to structure your own personal environment in a way that fits you, this is your power. Saying no or disengaging is basically reclaiming your energy, and boundaries protect your creative, emotional, and cognitive resources, and boundaries simply help you consciously choose what to actually give your energy to. A lot of our environments, our home environments, are not even set up in ways that actually help us. If you want to read a lot of books, get a bookshelf. Fill it up with some books. If you want to break your phone addiction, you have to set up your environment so that your phone is not an easy thing for you to continuously engage with and get addicted to. I just did a video on addiction. Check that one out. I don't want to repeat myself in this one. So basically, it's up to us also to actually process the traumas and wounds that are actually energy leaks. See, energy directed consciously fuels creativity, fuels growth, fuels meaningful relationships, fuels a sense of meaning and purpose in life, fuels our self-actualization, fuels our ability to transcend ourselves and connect to, well, the source of creation. Unconscious energy, and basically just giving it away unconsciously, feeds distraction and addiction, which is suffering. So we need to become conscious of what we are feeling on a moment-to-moment basis. Oh, this is a compulsion. I feel it in my body. There's this feeling of sadness or stress, and then I want to, go and grab a muffin, go and scroll on my phone. We need to become more emotionally intelligent. We need emotional intelligence, or else we're going to remain stuck in the same patterns that are basically dictating our life, the same emotional patterns that are motivating us. So I actually want to give you just some practical tips on what you can actually do. Limit social media scrolling. Limit stimulation that you're allowing into your mind. We live in a highly overstimulated world, and this overstimulation makes us numb, dull. It makes us not the most intelligent for the most part. I'm saying it kind of nicely. But this just makes us dull and numb to our actual experience of life and ourselves. We just make poor decisions when we're in, overstimulated states. So create a more conscious relationship to the internet. Determine whether or not it's serving you when you're using it. Physically set up your environment, like I said, so that it's easy for you to not do that thing. Put your phone in a drawer, put it in a different room, etc. Right, I'll leave that up to you to figure out and contemplate on your own time. I'm not going to spend too much time doing it here. Once again, check out the addiction video. It's absolutely fantastic. Audit your relationships. Who are the people that leave you feeling drained? Maybe because they're very critical, they're rude, they don't support you. They're just unsupportive human beings who you don't feel a deep connection with. Versus, where do you feel valued? Where do you feel safe? Where do you feel connected? Where do you feel supported? Where can you feel a sense of trust with the other people around you? Who are the actual safe people who are going to give you the things that you need, who are going to actually help you in life? So again, audit your relationships. Who are the people that, it's just kind of a low vibe and you don't really want to interact with them deep down? And then who are the people that are going to actually help you and help you to feel energized? And if you don't know those people, you're going to have to go out and find them. That's a whole other video, but just know that, that's just going to be something to do. Like I said, practice meditation to get out of autopilot. Your habits, your patterns that drain you are basically unconscious, and they're a bunch of repressed emotions. Natural Rest for Addiction. Read this book right here. And without meditation, you're not really going to be able to recognize that you're on autopilot. You're going to be too stuck in the unconscious to realize that you're unconscious. So that's why you need to make the unconscious conscious, to realize that you are unconscious. Basically, become aware of yourself and realize that, wow, most of my experience, most of the time, I'm not very aware whatsoever of what's going on. And this is actually like, wow, that is the thing that's controlling my life. It's this deep lack of awareness, right? Those sort of, iceberg sort of style, iceberg references where it's like, I'm only aware of what's on the tip of the iceberg, right? And when you start meditating, it's like, wow, so many feelings and sensations and emotions and thoughts that are just playing themselves out on autopilot. And I'm just sitting here resisting them all, struggling, avoiding, doing all these kinds of behaviors that are just less than healthy. And it's all happening without me even really knowing that it's happening. I don't even watch it in my direct experience as it's happening. So mindful presence in daily life. See and feel in real time when your energy is being drained. Choose something else to give it to. Be your own whistleblower. Call yourself out. Yep, this pattern I have is draining my energy and I'm stuck in it. So I'm going to go watch Lucas's addiction video to figure out how to break these addictions. Right? In real time. Yep, my energy is being drained by social media. It's being drained by junk food. It's being drained by this interaction with these people. Maybe it's not even the people. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just need to go rest. It's just not filling my needs, not fitting my needs in the moment, right? But maybe it is the people, and sometimes you just need different people. Again, use your own discernment and don't make a judgment out of emotional reactivity. Try and be as radically honest as you possibly can. Take deliberate breaks to recharge. Walks, nature, meditation, silence, doing nothing, looking out the window, relaxing in your body, allowing your body to physically relax. You don't always have to do stuff. We live in a culture where we're just don't stop doing. Right? Productivity, endless growth, endless productivity. These are kind of the assumptions of our culture, that this is just like some good thing. We're very burnt out and we're running unconsciously on autopilot because we don't actually give ourselves the rest that we need. We don't give ourselves the awareness and the attention that we need. We don't build the emotional intelligence. We're not connected to the intuition. We're not connected to being or the present moment or to our bodies. We're just running on autopilot with this conditioning that we have that isn't very helpful. So again, basically, to go deeper on that last point, the need to not do. Let yourself do nothing. Our culture is afraid of stillness, and we're neurotically doing things because we're afraid of the present moment and we want to avoid it. We're afraid of ourselves, our feeling. We're afraid of facing direct experience. We're afraid of life itself in our culture. That's why we have so much bullshit, because we're afraid of life. We have so much garbage because we don't want to give ourselves life-affirming energy. We numb ourselves. We're addicted, distracted, endless entertainment because we're afraid of our direct experience. We're always distracted because we're afraid of life. We're afraid of right now, afraid of ourselves, afraid of connection, afraid of the things that we deeply want, afraid of our true heartfelt desires. We're afraid of just fully experiencing life. We're afraid of the ups. We're afraid of the downs. We're afraid of the things in between. So we just numb ourselves to the entire thing and then we die and it sucks. So don't live that life. I already know, you know not to live that life, but nonetheless, if you don't make your unconscious conscious, that is the trajectory that you're going to be on. So that's basically all I can do for you here. Ask yourself the question, what do I want to give my energy to? Does giving my energy to this thing, is it life-affirming? Give your energy to what is life-affirming. What's not life-affirming, right? Make a note of it. It's not life-affirming. How do I break this pattern? Go watch my addiction video to break the pattern. Or you can get one-to-one coaching from me. You can join my community. I have my 10-week emotional transformation program. I'm doing weekly group coaching there. This is basically really, really transformational stuff based off of 8+ years of meditation, working with people for years, reading hundreds of books, psychology, emotional intelligence, spirituality, therapy and healing, trauma, sociology, culture, etc., business, etc., studying how advertising works, all sorts of stuff. So consider working with me if you are serious about this. I promise it's not, I'm not one of the guys stealing your energy. Or maybe I am. Maybe you can trust me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take it easy.